Welcome to the OSI brand's best practices for applying the OSI Quad window and door system for a window using the A1 method. There are two common window flashing installation methods, A and A1, as described by ASTM E2112, standard practice for installation of exterior windows, doors, and skylights standards document. The difference between the two methods is as simple as knowing when to apply the weather-resistant barrier, or WRB as it's commonly known. In the A method, the window is installed and flashed before the WRB is applied. In the A1 method, the window is installed and flashed after the WRB is applied. In this tutorial, we will demonstrate the A1 method. First, expose the rough opening by cutting the WRB around the edges and remove it. Then, cut the WRB at a 45-degree angle at the head and side jamb joints on each side. Now temporarily fasten the top flap with a piece of tape. Then cut the WRB a minimum of 1 to 1 1/4 inches away from the rough opening sides to expose the sheathing. If you are not able to install a door or window within 24 hours, you will need to secure the free hanging edges of the WRB so it doesn't tear loose in the wind. One of the ways to do this is to apply flashing tape to the edge of the WRB so that it overlaps a minimum of 1 inch. Then wrap it into the rough opening, securing the WRB to the sheathing. Now, install the pre-made corner guards and sill flashing. First, measure the depth of the window frame, but do not include the extension jamb if present. Measure the same distance on the sill, add 1/4 inch, and mark it with a pencil. This will show you where the interior edge of the flashing should be. Now, set the pre-made corner guards into the rough opening on both sides. It's important to note that pre-formed plastic corner guards may also be used. In addition, corner guards are not required in sill applications when you use OSI brand-approved flexible flashing tape. Next, center the pre-cut flashing tape in the rough opening onto the sill and extend it up each side jamb a minimum of 6 inches. Make relief cuts in the corners and then fold the flashing onto the WRB. Use the J-roller to remove any air pockets. Next, set your shims on the sill, and then set a level on top, bridging the shims. The OSI brand recommends the use of non-water degradable composite, plastic, or PVC shims instead of the wedge-shaped wood shims. Once they are level, seal the shims onto the sill using OSI Quad Max sealant. Always follow shim instructions and positioning from the window manufacturer's guidelines. The OSI Quad window and door system uses a specific method of applying sealant to the window's fin that provides a gasket to seal out water. To accomplish this, apply a continuous 3/8 inch rounded bead of OSI Quad Max to the back side of the side and head flanges of the window. It is critical to cover the pre-punched holes with OSI Quad Max to provide a reliable seal at these penetrations. Then apply a discontinuous bead on the bottom flange, leaving a minimum of a 2-inch gap at each corner and every 6 to 8 inches. This provides a way for any water or moisture to drain to the exterior drainage surface. If you are installing a window with a non-integral fin, apply a fillet bead to the joint between the fin and the window frame. Now, center the window in the rough opening on the shims. Then check the window for level, plumb, and square. You are now ready to fasten the window using the manufacturer's installation instructions. During this process, continue to make sure the window operates smoothly. Remember to tool any bulging sealant flat so it doesn't interfere with future cladding installation. Next, apply the pre-cut flashing tape. Fit the flashing tape tightly to the side flanges of the window and onto the wall. Then apply the flashing tape over the head flange of the window and onto the wall. extending it at least 1 inch beyond the flashing tape for the side jambs. Use the J-roller to remove any air pockets. Next, pull down the top flap and tape both 45-degree corners with flashing tape or weather-resistant barrier joint tape. Now, seal the WRB over the header of the window with sealant or flashing tape. Finally, you're ready to apply the OSI quad foam to the interior. First, shake the can 15 to 20 times. Then screw the can to the applicator gun and open the valve. And you're ready. Apply the OSI quad foam into the gaps between the window and the framing at the head and side jambs. The OSI quad foam locks out air and water and won't bow or deform the window frame. When applying foam to the sill, make sure you leave an air gap between the window fin and the foam to allow for drainage. A backer rod can be used to maintain this gap. Be sure to apply a continuous seal with no exposed shims or gaps. After 25 to 35 minutes, trim off the excess with a sharp knife. This time can vary depending on the temperature, humidity, and depth of the foam applied. If you are installing a mulled window, you are required to use rigid head flashing. First, apply OSI Quad Max as a bedding sealant to the upturned leg and to the bottom of the rigid head flashing. Set it in place and secure it with fasteners. Then use OSI Quad Max to seal over the fasteners. Next, apply a final layer of flashing tape that covers the upturned leg of the rigid head flashing and the sheathing. Again, use the J-roller to remove any air pockets. If you are installing a radius window, you have two flashing options. You can apply one piece of flex flashing tape or apply pieces of straight flashing tape. Here we will be demonstrating the pieces of straight flashing tape method. Cut each piece of flashing tape 10 to 12 inches in length. The lengths may vary depending on the size and shape of the window. Starting at the bottom corners of the radius window, secure a piece of flashing tape tightly to both the flange and the sheathing. It is best to apply a piece to one side and then a piece to the other, taking turns on each side as you work your way up. Start applying each piece up in a shingle fashion, overlapping each lower piece by at least 1 inch. Finally, place the last piece of flashing tape at the top of the window, overlapping the pieces from both sides by at least 1 inch as they come together at the top of the rough opening. Again, use the J-roller to remove any air pockets. In an effort to increase thermal performance and reduce condensation in exterior walls, exterior rigid foam sheathing is gaining popularity in certain regions. Before ordering the windows, check with the window manufacturer to confirm that they have approved fastening and install methods for rigid foam sheathing. Now, you are ready to install the window properly. If you are using foam sheathing without house wrap, you must apply a layer of foam joint tape over the head flashing tape. Be sure to lap the foam joint tape at least 2 inches over the top of the head flashing tape. This foam joint tape is the same tape used on foam sheathing joints. If you would like to become an OSI certified installer using the OSI Quad window and door system, visit ositough.com.